In the Samsara Paradise, Su Xiao spent most of his time traveling between the trial field and the exclusive space. He did not summon Koshiro's mirror image again, but chose the actual combat mode to practice actual combat skills. Although there were several deaths in battle during this period, Su Xiao also gained a lot. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed, and Su Xiao received a reminder from the Samsara Paradise. The hunter is about to return to the real world. Please remember the regulations of the Samsara Paradise. You cannot reveal anything about the Samsara Paradise in the real world in any way, otherwise you will be warned, and the hunter will be executed forcibly if the warning is invalid. The hunter cannot use the abilities obtained in the Samsara Paradise in reality, except for personal attributes and passive skills. Most of the equipment or items obtained in the Samsara Paradise cannot be taken out in the real world and are in a locked state. They will be restored after returning to the Samsara Paradise. Teleportation begins. Location: real world. The familiar feeling of teleportation appeared, and when Su Xiao regained consciousness, he was already lying in a cold cabinet. The temperature in the cabinet was very low and it was a bit narrow. Su Xiao's face turned black. There was only one possibility for his current position. He kicked the cabinet door below his feet. With his current strength, he kicked the cabinet door out of shape and bounced out. Su Xiao's kick not only kicked the cabinet door away, but also slid outward. The cabinet he was in was like a long metal drawer. Dang! The cabinet fell to the ground, making a loud noise in the silent room. Su Xiao looked around the room. The incandescent light made the room look particularly cold. His guess was right. This was the morgue, where corpses were stored. He was shot before, and the corpse was stored here. He entered the Reincarnation Paradise after faking his death. The Reincarnation Paradise locked his life, so he was not dead. The loud noise from the morgue attracted the attention of others. In the hospital duty room, a young nurse on internship was startled by the loud noise. The young nurse in a white coat heard the sound coming from the morgue on the lower floor, but her colleague on duty went out to buy supper. She was the only one on the empty first floor of the hospital late at night. Others had already gone to bed, so she was a little afraid to go out. No, it's not haunted, don't think about it. The teacher once said that there are no ghosts in the world. No, woo. The young nurse's name is Irua, and she is a nurse who has been interning for 2 months. Bang! Another loud noise came from the morgue, and Irua screamed in fear, and the hot water cup in her hand slipped to the ground and shattered. This loud noise was Su Xiao violently breaking open the door of the morgue. He walked in the long and narrow corridor, and the rooms on both sides were marked with various departments. The pungent smell of disinfectant made Su Xiao judge that this was a hospital, and a hospital in his city. Su Xiao had been here once and had some impression of this small hospital. He was not in a hurry to leave here, as he had to find the knife that was passed down in his family. He could throw away anything, but not the knife. Su Xiao looked around for the hospital staff, but he had no clues about the knife. Soon, Su Xiao came to the door of a duty room, where the light was on, and a beautiful nurse was staring at him blankly. Su Xiao pushed the door and walked into the duty room. Before he could speak, the nurse sitting on the chair rolled her eyes up, fainted, and fell to the ground. Su Xiao looked at the little nurse who fell to the ground in confusion, and walked up to her and pinched her philtrum. The little nurse woke up slowly, but when she saw Su Xiao, she was terrified and wanted to scream subconsciously. Su Xiao immediately covered the little nurse's mouth and nose. Don't make a sound, or I'll kill you. Su Xiao had just left the derivative world not long ago, and he was full of murderous aura. The little nurse nodded quickly, looking at Su Xiao with tears in her eyes, looking extremely pitiful. Which police station sent me here? The nurse's previous reaction made Su Xiao guess that the other party might have seen him, so she had the current reaction. Oh. The nurse pointed at Su Xiao's hand, indicating that she couldn't speak yet, and Su Xiao let go. Who? First there was a heavy gasp. You are dead, it has nothing to do with me, don't come to me. The nurse's voice trembled slightly, tears rolling in her eyes. Su Xiao still looked at the nurse coldly. Answer my question. Su Xiao's cold voice made the nurse tremble. Yes, it's Dongqing. After getting a clear answer, Su Xiao got up and left directly, rushing to the Dongqing branch. He was born in this second-tier city. Of course he knew where the Dongqing branch was. Su Xiao stopped a taxi on the street late at night and went straight to the Dongqing branch. 10 minutes later, Su Xiao arrived in front of the Dongqing branch. He would not enter the Dongqing branch through the main gate. Now he was an illegal resident and should have been charged with murder. With Su Xiao's infiltration ability, he sneaked into the evidence room of the Dongqing branch in half an hour. The more he searched in the evidence room, the uglier Su Xiao's face looked. His knife was not here. Su Xiao had begun to get impatient. The longer the time dragged on, the slimmer the chance of him finding the knife. He walked out of the government office and began to look for police officers in the police station. Soon, a young policeman sitting on duty at a desk was spotted by Su Xiao. Su Xiao gradually approached the policeman from behind. When he was very close, he suddenly jumped up, strangled the policeman's neck with his left arm, and clenched his left fist with his right hand, forming a guillotine in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This move was extremely brutal and would completely block the blood supply to the brain. If the force was sufficient, it would only take 2 to 3 seconds to make a person unconscious, and it would kill within 10 seconds. The young policeman did not even have the chance to shout, and his body went limp. Su Xiao carried the young policeman and left the Kai police station from the same way they came. It was easy for him to enter and exit the Kai police station late at night. In the dark alley, the young policeman gradually woke up. If you don't want to die, answer my questions honestly. Who are you? I am. Before the young policeman finished speaking, Su Xiao had already punched him in the chest. A painful groan was heard, and the young policeman collapsed to the ground. Where is my knife? The young policeman looked at Su Xiao in confusion, and his face was full of pain. Su Xiao's punch made the young policeman feel like being hit by a train. What knife? Who are you? Su Xiao. Su Xiao stood in the dark alley and said his real name without any concealment. At this point, there was no need to cover up. He could be sure that he would be promoted to a wanted criminal tomorrow. It's you. Your knife was taken away by the general administration. The young policeman's tone was calm, without any abnormality. You're lying. Su Xiao grabbed the young policeman's hand, and after a series of crisp sounds, a pig-killing scream rang out in the alley. This time it was 5 fingers, next time it will be your neck. After you die, I will ask other police officers. There are more than one police officer in the police station. Think about your family. Is your persistence really worth it? After you die, your beautiful wife, your children. The young policeman's face was distorted, and his eyes seemed to be spitting fire. It seems that he is already married. Your knife was taken away by our chief. It has nothing to do with me. Very good, take me to your chief.